Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here with a musical layout featuring some mixed media and fabric florals. I will be recording a simple memory of our daughter playing the piano. I'm going to be sharing a few simple mixed media techniques on this page and show you how I created a few florals with stamps and stencils. I can't wait to share this project with you. Today I'm working with components from the April HipKit, focusing on some of the mixed media elements in the kit. Each month a coordinating color kit is available. From that collection I will be using the Nuvo dots and the stencil. I'm also going to bring in some texture paste, stamps, and Catherine Pooler inks. I want my layout to have quite a bit of texture, and these fabric elements are perfect for that. As I create this project, I will be adding a few additional items. These will be listed in the description below, along with a link to the April HipKit. I'm going to bring in this ledger pattern and back it with this thistle print. I want to trim the ledger paper down a bit so that the thistle color forms a frame around my page. The ledger paper has some printed florals near the base of the page, which are going to form a nice frame for my photo. I want this layout to have a diagonal flow, so I'm going to fold down the top right corner and expose the darker blue pattern on the back and show a little bit more of that purple pattern in the background. To bring more of that darker blue to the page, I'm going to add a frame around my photo in the same pattern. And then I'll bring a little bit of typeset pattern to the page. Typeset patterns are some of my favorites to use. Now that I have a basic idea of where my items are going to sit, I'm going to bring in some stenciled images to the background. Off to the side, I have placed some texture paste onto my glass board, and I'm mixing it with some of the Nuvo drops that came in the color kit. You can stencil Nuvo drops directly through the stencil, but I find that they create a clearer image on finer stencils when they're mixed with paste. The paste will have a soft yellow tint and shine. Now, if you want to take away some of the opaqueness of the paste, you could use a clear texture paste instead. This stenciling is going to be very subtle on my page. If you wish to have a bolder background image, you could use the Pixie Glacier paste that came with the color kit or one of your favorite inks. I'm adding some of these floral images around where my photo is going to sit and under that folded corner. The soft yellow color is a lovely complement to the purple hues, and the florals break up some of that ledger pattern in the background. When creating a project that requires paste, it's always a good idea to store the leftover paste in a small container. This way you can add more paste to your project later on without worrying about color matching. As my texture paste dries, I'm going to work on some floral pieces for my page. I'm using the Floral Cluster stamp set to make some images on pattern paper. This is going to add a unique touch to my page. In a moment, I will add some color to the florals, but I plan to leave most of these white so that the added pattern can shine through and create an interesting design. This floral cluster also has a set of layering stencils that you can use to fill in the florals. I'm going to use a few of the Catherine Pooler inks and add just a small amount of color on a few of the floral pieces. The ledger pattern that I picked for my background has a soft pink colored print, so I'm going to use that color to shade this larger flower. And then I'm going to bring in some more yellow on my smaller flowers. This next layering stencil will allow me to bring in some darker hues to the center of the flower and bring in a little bit of purple. As I was selecting the color palette for this page, I chose a bit of a split complementary color scheme with blue, pink, yellow, and purple. So I want to bring all of those colors to the florals here. I am also leaving a fair amount of white space since I have a smaller black and white photo and I don't want to detract from it. Leaving white space on a page can help draw attention to important elements on your layout. The use of white or white space can also draw attention to text, key elements, or focal points on the page. Now that all of the layers on this first flower are complete, I'm going to finish up that second one and start adding items to my page. Off camera, I roughed up the edges of my background papers with a distressing tool and stitched the two pages together. Before I adhere the photo in place, I want to bring in a little bit more color to that space around my photo. As much as I like that ledger pattern, I am worried that my photo is going to get lost in the pattern, and this softer pink color is going to bring some focus to it. Matching the ink color to the pattern paper I used around the edges of the page creates a cohesive look. Incorporating similar colors around your page and photo is an effective way to draw attention to those specific areas. After I add my photo to the page, I'm going to start layering my floral pieces. Using the printed floral on the ledger paper as a guide, I selected some of the fabric florals to place around the photo with that stamped image I created. I am trying to stick with the color palette I chose and selecting a mix of fabric prints and patterns. To create a sense of directionality and flow within the frame, I did cut the stamped floral in two pieces and added the second piece on the opposite side of the photo. This technique creates the illusion of a continuous piece. Within the colorful floral pieces, I'm adding some bold black and white die cuts. These help to break up the patterns in the florals and create some more white space around my photo. As a grounding element, I'm adding two tape measure pieces below the photo. These are also printed on fabric, and I just love the texture that they bring to the page. I want to add some bold pieces near the base of the photo and bring some more weight to this space. I decided on a black and white mason jar with florals on the left and a little phrase piece on the right. The phrase has a yellow print that says, "This makes my heart happy." Below it, I'm going to add another phrase in pink that says, "Living life to the fullest." And then I'll finish off the space with a round puffy sticker. At the top of the layout, I'm going to repeat some of the floral patterns and colors. I'm bringing in a second stamped image and some more fabric florals. While I finish adding these to the page, I would love it if you tap that subscribe button and let me know that you're new here. If you are already a subscriber, let me know that you're enjoying today's project by tapping that thumbs up icon or leaving a comment below. I always love knowing which technique you're going to try next. I am going to finish this space off with a black and white butterfly and a round die cut that says, "Good things take time," which I think is a great phrase for someone learning to play the piano. This area also needs a horizontal element, so I'm going to bring over some of the puffy sticker phrases. I often hold the stickers over my project to see which one fits best before I decide on the one I want to use. I feel like yellow is a good choice for this space, so I'm going to use the one that says, "Express yourself through art." I'm also going to bring in a few more of those fabric tape measures up to this space in white and pink. I'll finish adding these to the page, and then I'll share the completed layout with you. Off camera, I added some finishing touches. Above the photo, I added a little pink and floral tab with the word "keepsakes." This finished off my visual triangle of black and white elements around the photo. I also attached a few dark blue puffy dots on the left and right side in a diagonal formation and brought some more of those to the top of the page. These dots do a great job leading your eye across the layout. I finished off this upper space with another puffy sticker and some twine. The blue strip on the ledger paper was feeling a bit unfinished, so I attached some white twine under my flowers and wrapped it to the back. It was an easy way to finish off the top of the layout and bring in some more texture. Today's project involved a few stenciled techniques, splashes of color, and layers of texture using items from the April HipKit. The floral layers on this page were created using stamped images, texture paste, and fabric florals. I like how the mix of textures and colors plays so well together on that ledger print background, and how that little fold at the top finishes it off nicely. I hope that today's project inspired you to try something new and give a few of these techniques a try. If you're one who enjoys pinning photos to inspiration boards, I have added still shots of this layout in the HipKit Club Facebook group and on my website for you to use. I want to thank you for joining me for another scrapbook project. If you would like to see more of my creations, you can visit my channel or follow Miss Carrie's Creations online. If you have any questions about this project or supplies listed below, feel free to leave me a comment. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.